in today's video, we are talking more about the severe, most possibly major severe weather outbreak again for the southeast. But before we can get into this video, I would ask you to subscribe to the channel if you do like daily weather forecasts, and make sure to share this video with any friends or family that might be in the path of the severe weather or do like these kind of weather forecasts. So right now we are looking at kind of my forecast. I've actually have issued a very small high risk for severe weather for parts of South Carolina and Georgia. This is where you're expecting the most of the significant severe weather, and in that moderate risk of severe weather, which is in the red. This is where you're expecting this very significant severe weather to happen. And then let's talk about the low. So you got a very strong low pressure system. It's just going to go over Nashville, kind of in that area. And then you got the warm front, bringing that warm air in for this area. And then you got the cold front coming in about Thursday afternoon. It's going to be about this area. It's really going to spark these storms about in this area heading east into Georgia. And then once it gets into these red areas in Georgia and the pink areas, these are really these tornado warnings, and these tornadoes are really going to start to spark up. And then you got also the enhanced risk of severe weather, which is in the orange. And in the yellow, you have your slight risk of severe weather. In the green, you have your marginal risk of severe weather. And these like I said, this is going to really spark these storms, and then these are really going to start rotating supercells heading to Georgia, near Atlanta and Mason, Georgia, Augusta and Savannah and Charleston. You're all included in this high risk of severe weather. This isn't issued by the actual Storm Prediction Center yet. We only have an enhanced risk of severe weather, but this is my forecast of severe weather, what I think they're going to issue. But let's go ahead and look at the future simulated radar for this severe weather outbreak. Alright, so now we're looking at the tomorrow's kind of severe weather outlook. This is I decided to look at tomorrow's outlook instead. We do have an enhanced risk of severe weather for parts of Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas, also Louisiana. You do have an enhanced risk for severe weather in that area. And for the tornado risk, well, actually, you can look at the slight risk of severe weather, which is in the yellow risk. This is where you're expecting most of the severe weather to happen tomorrow. Also, in the darker green risk, you do have your kind of more isolated severe storm threat. And then the general thunderstorms, you're expecting no severe storms, but just some general thunderstorms are expected for that type of area. We can go ahead and look at tornado risk here. And they have issued a significant risk for significant risk for tornadoes in that black hatch-check area. That's where you're expecting possibly EF2 tornadoes up to EF5 tornadoes within that area. It's a very small area. I do think they're going to extend it a little bit for about that area. But that should be about it for that extension. And then you do have your 5% risk for tornadoes in that brown area. And don't forget the 10% risk of tornadoes in the yellow area right there. In the green area, you also have your 2% risk of tornadoes in that area. So pretty much this whole area, you do have those ingredients for those tornadoes, especially in the yellow and brown area in the significant risk area. You can go look at the hail risk. And the hail risk is pretty high, up to baseball-sized hail within that significant risk area and the 30% risk area, which is in the red. Up to golf ball-sized hail or even larger within that yellow area right there, and up to quarter-sized hail within that green area right there. You can look at the wind risk here. And the wind risk is pretty high as well. There's not a significant risk, but there is a 30% chance of up to 80 mile per hour wind gusts within that area, up to 6 mile per hour wind gusts with the yellow area, and in the green area you have up to 40 mile per hour wind gusts within that area. Now we can go ahead and look at the future radar for both of these severe weather outbreaks. Alright, so now we're looking at the future simulated type of radar. We do have some thunderstorms out, some isolated thunderstorms for the afternoon hours of Wednesday, or the afternoon hours of Wednesday. But once we get into the overnight hours, let's go back here. You're gonna see a low develop, but then it quickly disappears, and then that main low right there is the one that's making the very significant severe weather in the southeast. You see those very severe cells down here in parts of Louisiana for tomorrow, and then you're moving forward even more, and you're seeing that line of storms kind of moving through, and that's where that severe weather risk is for Thursday. And you move forward even more. Let's go back to the southeastern region here, and once you get into about the 2 to 4 p.m. time frame of Thursday, you really look at these right over here in Alabama. These are already showing hook echoes, which I've rarely seen. The last time I've seen hook echoes on actually future radar is back May 20th last year, which was a high risk of severe weather. There's already hook echoes, which is indicating tornadoes. Of course, I can't really rule out any tornadoes if any tornadoes would happen with these, but pretty much this whole area with these very intense supercells, they're already showing hook echoes with those. So these are going to be very severe and very intense. It doesn't go that far, but you can still see some hook echoes with especially this strong one and this strong one right there, and maybe that one right there. Still have those hook echoes on there. And then you can go to the other one, which is more kind of, it's not really that high quality, but still you see those line of storms moving through, and still on this very low resolution radar, you're still seeing kind of a hook echo shape on that one. That's northern part of Georgia, and then you're going into the late evening hours, going to overnight hours, and those storms kind of go off into the Atlantic Ocean. If you did enjoy this video, I would ask you to subscribe to the channel if you do like daily weather forecasts, and make sure to share this video with any friends or family that might be in the path of this severe weather. But anyways, stay safe.